Okay, it's 5:33, so we'll go ahead and get started. I think we're just waiting for a couple more people, but just wanted to welcome everyone and thank you for attending our first ever Pink Mixology event. For those of you who don't know, I'm Tina Escalona and I'm the Membership Administrator and Marketing for the Hawaii Island Chamber of Commerce. Our Executive Officer, Miles Yoshioka, is on a well-deserved vacation visiting his family in Colorado. So you're stuck with me for tonight. Sorry. But hope you guys have a good time and really just wanted to say thank you for your continued support of the Hawaii Island Chamber. And more importantly, for your support of fellow chamber members, American Cancer Society, and the Temple. We will be hearing more from them later in the program. But just a couple of reminders to please keep yourselves on mute and leave your videos on if possible, so that we can see all of your smiling faces. And then before we go into the actual portion, just wanted to share a couple upcoming HICC events. So together with a couple other chambers of commerce on Hawaii Island, we are putting together the Healthcare Hero Mahalo concert. And that's going to be on Saturday, November 6th from 6 to 9 p.m. on Aleo TV channel 54. And it will also be streamed live on Facebook. So we hope you folks will tune in to the concert. It's free and open to the public. But then also wanted to take this time to encourage all of you to submit your messages of mahalo and aloha to our healthcare workers. If you can just record a short 10 to 15 second video and go ahead and submit that into the Google Drive folder by tomorrow. That is the deadline if you want your video to be aired during the concert. And just wanted to share that we have only a little bit of submissions so far. So there's a very good chance that if you're able to record a video, it will be included in the concert. And then just wanted to throw it out there that if anybody wants to record a video tonight after the event, we can do that on Zoom and then I'll go ahead and submit that for you. But if not, you can just record a short video on your phone and then go ahead and submit that by tomorrow. And then the next thing is we have our employment law seminar coming up on November 19th. It's going to be all day and the attorneys from Turkuts and Cats will be presenting and they will also be there to answer any questions you might have. This is a major fundraiser for the chamber. So if you can help us by sharing it with your HR departments, or if you guys would like to attend just to stay on top of business law, you can go ahead and register on our website. And just keep in mind, November 19th is the law seminar. And then last thing, we are shooting for 333 members, and we're hoping to reach that goal by June 2022. So as a friendly reminder, if you have friends who aren't involved in the chamber, please spread the word and encourage them to join. And we do have prizes for everyone who helps to bring in new members. And some of the prizes just announced include lunch at Fairmont Orchid, and then also round trip tickets on Southwest Airlines. And there are more prizes coming soon, but if you have any questions about the membership drive, you can go to our website, www.hicc.biz. And then any questions about chamber events before we move on? Okay, really quick, just want to have everybody introduce themselves. So if you can share your name, position, and what you do. We'll have more time for networking at the end of the program. So we'll start with Sarah and then Ian folks, and then we'll go around to everybody after that.
Aloha, everybody. Sarah Lukimbe with the American Cancer Society.
And then Ian and Sarah.
Hi, I'm Sarah, bartender at Temple.
Hi, I'm Ian Hatch, and I'm the owner of the Temple.
Okay, thank you. And then Nui and then Lisa.
I'm Kealoha Nui Brownie, Nui for short. I work with Hawaii Life Real Estate Brokers, Team Nakanishi.
Thank you. And then Lisa.
Hi, I'm Lisa. I work for the Canada France Hawaii Telescope up on Mauna Kea.
Thank you. And then Gordon, and then Laurie and Mark.
Gordon muted. Think you muted.
I knew that. I was just testing you guys. I'm Gordon Takaki, past president of the Hawaii Island Chamber of Commerce, and extremely retired.
Extremely. Wow.
Yes.
Thank you. And then Laurie and Mark.
Oh, I'm Lori Higashi. I'm a realtor with Property Professionals Hawaii.
And I'm Mark Schumacher, and I work on IT stuff for a landscape architecture firm on the mainland. So I work at home, basically.
Thank you. And then we'll have Brian, Anne, and then Mary.
We're unmuted.
Oh, we're unmuted. Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Ryan Kadota from Kadota Liquor.
And I'm Ann Chung from Hawaii Community College.
Thank you. And then Mary.
Hi, I'm Mary Bajere. I'm a realtor I have my own firm, Mary Bajere Realty. I'm a past president of the chamber, and I'm ready to have a drink.
Thank you, Mary. And then Sui-san gang, if we can have all of you introduce yourselves, please.
I don't think they can hear.
Oh, Sui-san, can you hear us?
They're looking.
Hi, Renee. Go ahead when you're ready.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, we're having technical issues, but yeah, we're here with Sui-san, and I'm Renee. I'm the HR manager, and I'm gonna introduce my crew over here. We have Seisha and JC. They're with our warehouse receiving crew, and we have Adrian, who is our diesel mechanic, and we have Napua Christensen. You guys already know she's our warehouse manager. And we are already drinking, so we're already starting the party, but glad we're here. Thanks.
Very nice. Thank you so much, Renee and Sui-san. Next, we'll have Chelsea and Bryson.
Hi, I'm Chelsea Chow, and I work at Hawaii Community Foundation. And this is my daughter, Clara. We're both wearing pink, and she just stood up, of course. We're both wearing pink, so we get 2 entries, right?
Thank you, Chelsea. Bryson.
Hello, guys. My name is Bryson Hero, owner of Bryson Hero LLC. I am a life insurance and annuities agent.
Thank you. And then Lynn, and then JD.
Hi, everybody. Lynn Nunez from CU Hawaii Federal Credit Union.
Thank you. And then JD.
Aloha, everyone. I'm JD Walker from Hawaii Island Realtors. I'm the education and events coordinator there.
Thank you. And then Ashley, and then last but not least, Leimana.
Aloha, everyone. I'm Ashley Mejia with Hawaii Island Realtors. I am their Director of Membership and Communication.
Thank you.
Aloha, everyone. I'm Leimana. I'm with Premier Restoration Hawaii, and I'm the Business Development Manager. I apologize. I'm going to stay off my video just because I'm total mom right now.
No worries. Thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
joining us. Now I would like to turn it over to Lynn Nunez, our Social Committee Chair, for a few remarks. Lynn?
Hi again, everyone. So again, I'm Lynn Nunez from CU Hawaii. I'm oversee member services for the credit union, which consists of branches and the call center. I've been with the credit union for a little over 30 years, so it's been a while. But as Taylor mentioned, I'm a part of a chair for the social committee, and thank you to our sponsors this evening, American Cancer Society, as well as the Temple, Ian, and Sarah as well, for putting on the event tonight. So a little bit about the social committee. So we put on these after hours events, as well as lunchtime, educational sessions and things like that. So if any of you know anyone or any business that wants to put on a social event, please contact Taylor at the chamber office or myself. And if you'd like to join the social committee as well, we meet on the third Thursdays at 4 p.m. Virtually. So again, let us know if you want to join. So I have the pleasure to talk about Sarah Lukinbill, if I pronounced that correctly. I got my lesson on that. She's been with the American Cancer Society for the past 5 years. She enjoys working with the various organizations on the island to bring awareness of the American Cancer Society mission to save lives, celebrate lives, and lead the fight against cancer. In the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, Sarah and her coworker, Danielle Mellon, have come up with creative ideas to ensure the fight against cancer never ends. Please join me in welcoming Sarah Lukinbill of American Cancer Society.
Thank you, Lynn. So as you all know, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So I'm just going to share a few facts and some information about the American Cancer Society and what we do. Let me go ahead and just get my screen up here. Everybody can see that okay? Awesome. Okay, so female breast cancer has surpassed lung cancer, and it is now this year has become the most commonly diagnosed cancer worldwide. It's estimated that 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed this year. In Hawaii, that would be an estimate about 1,390. Oh, there we go. So the good news is that the death rate from breast cancer has dropped 41% since 1989. And that's partly because of earlier detection, better technology with screening and detection, as well as advances in treatment through cancer research. So there are about 3.8 million breast cancer survivors in the US today. And ACS is currently investing about 69 million in breast cancer specific research through 162 grants this year. And we also have a commitment to health equity, investing 4.86 million. And that's to ensure that places that people don't have access to care or access to treatment, like in the country, like on the Big Island, that we go ahead and invest in those areas to make sure that people have that access to care through transportation grants to allow them to get there, and those types of things, as well as education and making sure that people have access to screening in the areas. So cancer research, a lot of people say, well, you know, what good is, cancer research? But it's really important that what we do and what we invest in today is going to save lives in the future. These are a few of the things that we're doing and what we're working on. I always like to just share a story from one of my volunteers, because when she was diagnosed with cancer about 10 years ago. And her most recent battle, she went through it and then was in remission for a while, and then has to go through her treatment again. And this time around, the medicine that she's taking is so much different than what she had before. She got really sick. The medicine that she's taking now, the advances in that treatment, she doesn't get as sick from it. She can take it in an oral form. So she's able to live a better quality life. So research does matter and does make a difference. The American Cancer Society helps support people through different types of patients programs and support. We have a 24/7 helpline that people can call in case they need help any time of the day. We offer free places to stay when traveling for treatment, such as Hope Lodge, Hawaii. And Nui is going to share her story, but she was able to use those services when she traveled for treatment to Oahu. So it's like a home away from home for people that have to go to Oahu. They can bring a caregiver and stay there. We have a kitchen. They have a private room. We have transportation that will pick them up at the airport, take them to the lodge, and also as well to help them to get to their place of treatment, such as Queens. We also offer ground transportation and air transportation if people don't have it as a benefit. And free resources. So if people want to just get more information about breast cancer, one of the things that I really love is we have these books. So for mothers that are going through breast cancer, if they call our 800 number and, we can send a book to their child that will talk to their children and explain why is mom losing hair, why is mom sick and all that type of thing so that they have a better understanding and can help their child understand the process of why they're going through treatment. One of my favorite programs is our Reach to Recovery program. And that's where we have a breast cancer survivor that has kind of gone through, has gone through the disease and they volunteer. They get trained by the American Cancer Society. And they can connect to somebody that's newly diagnosed with breast cancer. So they can be that type of mentor and support to help them through that transition. And we supply an app that they can talk through each other. They can talk via text messages, through online via Zoom and get together. We actually will try to match the same type of treatment that they're going to. So maybe they had a double mastectomy, we'll try to match them with somebody that had a double mastectomy. That way they can kind of understand, it's like when you go through cancer, it's really hard to talk to your family and your friends. So to have somebody that has gone through the disease and be able to talk, that's really important. So get screened. You need to know your risks. The recommendations is between ages 40 and 44. Women should get screened once between those years. And between 45 and 54, they should be screened every year. And then after that, they can switch at 55 to every other year. Okay, but it's important to know your risks. If you have a relative that's had breast cancer, you should talk to your doctor and get tested earlier. So that's a little bit about screening. I just want to say really the importance of getting screened is so important. A lot of people with the COVID pandemic really put things off, right? You weren't going into the doctor's office. You were kind of like worried about going in there. Some doctor's offices like really kind of cut down their screening, or they just didn't do it. They only were able to do procedures. And so a lot of people put off their screening. So I'm talking to men and women here. I'm talking to everybody, not just for mammograms, but if you put off another type of cancer screening, don't wait any longer. It's an expected 31% rise in cancer diagnosis just because of delays in screening from COVID. So it's so important. I know so many friends and people that I work with that were able to get screened, catch it early, and are cancer-free today. So please, if you know somebody, how can you help us? If you know somebody, ask your loved one, ask your wife, ask your mom, ask your sisters, ask everybody, like, have you gotten your mammogram? Have you gotten screened? It's a perfect time to do it. Like, hey, did you know October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month? Like, hey, did you do it? Okay, so please make sure that you ask your loved ones if they do it. You can support our Real Men Wear Pink ambassadors through a donation. And you can join us. We're going to have an event as well, our scavenger hunt that we're going to do on October 30th. It's a fun family event. It's a $20 donation, and you can go to find all our little places that we've picked throughout of Hilo and just have fun with your kids and explore and do some fun activities. And we're going to have some candy for the kids and some prizes. Grand prize actually is a free trip to the Mauna Kea Beach Hotel. So all you have to do is complete the scavenger hunt, put your name in, turn in your card, and hey, you could win an overnight stay thanks to K-Big FM. So super excited about that. And then want to shout out to our Real Men Wear Pink ambassadors that are in the chamber, Ash Suji and Bryson Hero. And Bryson is here with us, and he's going to share a little bit after Nui shares about her story about why he's supporting our program this year. Thank you so much.
Sarah, I have a question.
Yes.
Gordon, I don't know if Bryson's going to cover that or what, but is the American Cancer Society finding breast cancer in men?
Yes. So actually men are can also be diagnosed with breast cancer, and an expected 2,600 would be diagnosed this year. You're welcome.
That's nationwide.
Nationwide, correct. All right, so let me go ahead and stop share here. Thank you for allowing me to share. And I have the pleasure of introducing Nui, who I've gotten to know over the years, and she's just been an amazing advocate. She inspires me by sharing her story and bringing awareness to people in our community. She has a powerful story and a really big heart to help others. So thank you, Nui, for sharing.
Thank you guys, all of you guys, for allowing me to share. And a lot of you actually experienced my my breast cancer journey with me. So you're familiar with my story, but just briefly, I was diagnosed when I was 35, which is pretty young for breast cancer. And they kept telling me, the doctors kept telling me that whatever they were seeing was a cyst. I went to about 4 or 5 different doctors, and they all said the same. And until one day it started hurting. It was like this burning sensation down my arm, where the tumor was pushing on some nerves. And even then I went in and I said, something's wrong. He said, I think it's just a cyst, but let's have it checked out. And so I checked it out, and yeah, I had breast cancer. And I was the first person that we know of in my entire family that had breast cancer. And because I was so young, they tested me for this gene mutation that's called BRCA, BRCA, and there's 2 of them, 1 and 2. You probably heard of Angelina Jolie getting a bilateral mastectomy, and that's why. And originally, when I heard that she was doing that, I kind of thought, whoa, that's a little overboard. But now, having gone through the whole breast cancer process, treatment and bilateral mastectomy, reconstruction and all of that, it is a really hard process, and it's long. So I totally see why she did that. And so after I tested positive for the gene mutation, then everybody else in my family got tested, all the women and also men. And it turns out that my mom, my sister Aloha, also had the gene mutation, and unfortunately did get cancer after me and passed away very quickly. And my younger sister is also BRCA2 positive. My auntie and my cousin, who is a male, is also positive. So now what that means is just everyone has to do extra screening and a lot of similar things to Angelina Jolie. So my entire family will have to, all the women that have the BRCA gene mutation will be doing preventative type of things, from just screening every 6 months to even surgeries to make sure that they don't get cancer at some point. And so, yeah, I guess my point to all of that is that if you're kind of thinking something is weird, no matter what age you are, then you really need to advocate for yourself. And if one doctor says no and you just have a strong feeling, then you go to another doctor and just keep watching it and request that you get tested. Like they'll do a mammogram, and also an ultrasound is very important, because the mammogram, sometimes if women have very dense breast tissue, it kind of, the tumor won't show up in your mammogram, because it's almost like you have this forest
and you're trying to find like a really, okay, so like our Vivi forests, and where you just can't even get through there, and you're trying to find a flower in the middle of that forest. So that's kind of when women have dense breast tissue, if the tumor is smaller, it's not going to show up on the mammogram or be very hard. So when they do an ultrasound, they can see things like blood rushing to certain areas, which means that there's some growth, something growing there, because blood doesn't just rush to an area if there's not growth. So you want to make sure that if you do have some kind of concern, you request both of those tests. And now they have a really cool mammogram that's kind of like a 3D where, and I think Hilo has one now. And so you could ask them for that mammogram instead of the traditional one, because it will go from every angle, not just kind of like up and down. So that's kind of my big tips, I guess. And then, you know, if you do, I think if you do, and if someone you love or you yourself gets diagnosed with breast cancer, it's not a death sentence. So just know that it's not a death sentence. It does help if you find it soon. With my sister, it was the same thing. The doctor kept telling her it was a cyst, and they kept saying they're going to keep checking it, and they wouldn't do a biopsy. I don't know why, because I was BRCA positive and I already had cancer. So I'm not sure why they weren't doing the biopsy, which is why I say, like, you really, like, never mind being, like, everyone thinks that I'm like this sweet, nice person, and I am. But when it comes to your health, like, never mind if your doctor is not doing what you need them to do. It's not about feeling bad. There's not, like, I actually, in the beginning of my treatment, I went to 2 doctors, and I just had the worst feeling. They didn't even really do anything bad. I just had like a horrible feeling about them. So I switched doctors and I found a new one. So it's really important that you find a doctor that you trust and you can talk to, you feel comfortable with. But yeah, just finding it early and being a really strong advocate for yourself is probably my #1 tip. And then if you do get diagnosed, then I think this is going to sound like, what the heck, you're crazy, but you really need to start doing, well, okay, I'm not going to say that. You can do, but I will say the biggest tip, the biggest thing that helped me was doing a lot of mindset exercises. I started meditating a lot more. I started just learning about how your mind works, and immediately when a certain thought would pop into my head, I would do exercises where I replace it with another thought. And this works for all sorts of things, of course. I'm sure you guys have all heard, but I really learned how to do that with breast cancer. So it wasn't all bad. I actually learned a lot of really good skills through having breast cancer. But yeah, the mindset, I think, is just so important. And if anybody wants to talk more about that at a later time, I'm totally nerdy about it, so I would love to discuss like any books that I've read, or my meditation apps and whatever. So you can feel free to reach out to me, because I love sharing all of that. But that, and then the Hope Lodge. So this will be the last thing I'll talk about, but Hope Lodge was a big, huge help to me, because I had to get a bilateral mastectomy, and they didn't do them they didn't do them both at one time. They did them separately. So I had to stay in the Hope Lodge quite a few times for bunch of different surgeries. And I wasn't aware that it existed, first of all, and you know, everything happens so quickly once you're diagnosed, and trying to figure out where you're gonna stay in Oahu, where you're getting most of your surgeries, is super stressful to add on to everything else that you're already trying to figure out. And when I tried to find an Airbnb, I think the cheapest one was like $6,000 for the time that I had to be in Oahu. And then one of the doctors at Queens suggested I stay at Hope Lodge. And I was nervous because I was like, well, is it going to be dirty? Is it, you know, like, what are the other people going to be like there? It is like a mini resort. It is, you have like your own little hotel room, and there is a shared kitchen. And that's the thing I was really nervous about, because I was like, I don't really want to be like talking to people. And then it ended up like everybody having little dinner gatherings each night, and everybody cooking for each other. And I was there on Valentine's, so there was like this big Valentine's spread of food and all kinds of desserts, which you're not really supposed to be eating when you have cancer, but whatever, you know, you gotta YOLO sometimes. And so it was just such a nice place to be. And they have this Zen garden that's like so beautiful. And I just really appreciate the American Cancer Society for that. It was not just a place to stay, but like just the relationships that and friendships that you make in there are just, I'm getting chicken skin thinking about it, but it's just like so touching, and it's really incredible. So that's my story in a nutshell. I don't know if we have time for questions, if anybody has questions, or but I'm kind of an open book, so.
Can I interject something? A couple of years ago, I did visit the Hope Lodge. It was American Cancer Society did a breakfast at for many of us, and we just went. And because I was in Honolulu, I decided to go there, and it was a wonderful experience. The staff there took me around, and yes, they have the kitchen. They showed me the kitchen. There's even an area where if you just want to sit down and relax and chill, you can do that. I mean, there's so many things there that's available for those that are can't find a place or just want to go there. And everybody shares their own stories related to cancer. And so I don't know if now you can go because of COVID. I don't think they'll allow outside.
Yeah, they opened back up. They opened back up.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
just for the patients, I think what he was saying is no visitors right now. Yeah, so unfortunately, no visitors because of COVID restrictions, but we are open. Yeah, thank you, Gordon, for sharing. Thank you, Nui.
No, thank you guys.
I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you, and I would like to have a person to mentor if you have one. I'm down for that.
What was that?
A breast cancer mentee. If you have one to assign to me, I'm open.
Okay.
I didn't know that was a thing.
So Nui, how are you now? Are you completely in remission, and you haven't detected anything since then, I hope?
No, so before you're stage 4, you technically can be cured. So I was stage 2, and so I'm cured. I have to go get testing all the time and that sort of thing. I feel like I live at Queens, but Queens is not a bad place. It's really pretty and they have pretty good food. So I don't mind going. I'm in Oahu right now, actually. But yeah, you're also with the gene mutation, you're also at high risk of ovarian cancer and skin cancer and other things. So I have to get screening for those things as well.
Oh, that's great.
Thank you.
This is Mary. I wanted to follow up on something that Sarah said. You know, when people say, oh, why are you spending money on research? The American Heart Association was doing some research in the late 50s, and they stumbled onto I-131. And in their experiment was a failure because it didn't do for the heart what they thought it would do, but they discovered that it treated thyroid cancer. So just because, I mean, some of you are scientists yourselves, and so you understand that, you know, sometimes your research doesn't go the way you want it to, but you might even discover something cooler. And as a thyroid cancer survivor, I think that's pretty cool that the American Heart Association, and they shared their research with American Cancer, and then they took it forward into the medical industry, you know. So research is important and it's not a waste of money. So that's why we are all here, to raise money.
All right, can we all give Nui a hand? She's a warrior. Thank you, Nui.
Thank you, guys. I was over here giving myself a
And then I'd like to introduce Bryson Hero. Bryson stepped up to the plate this year for us, and he is one of our Real Men Wear Pink ambassadors, as you can see from his beautiful background screen there. And he is you know, throughout his network, sharing information about breast cancer, facts about breast cancer, wearing his pink, bringing awareness, but he's also fundraising, and he has a $2,500 goal that he's going towards. And so go ahead, Bryson, share a little bit, please.
Mahalo, Sarah. Yeah, I was excited to jump on board because I've known Sarah for some years now through another organization that we're a part of. And so I was excited partially because, you know, Nui. So we started following each other on IG, and then I got to kind of get to know her and kind of get to see her journey, that she, and to be that vulnerable and post, and even some of the pictures that she would post. I just give you so much credit, Nui, and it's just amazing. I'm sure it's inspiring to, you know, so many other, you know, women out there who maybe think that, you know, sometimes that they're alone. And so that's amazing that you're willing to, you know, share your story and then also mentor somebody. And yeah, I think that that's amazing. And so it's an honor. I feel like this campaign is amazing. And it's great to be a part of it. I also have a friend who I used to teach Zumba fitness, for those of you who don't know. I used to teach at the YMCA, and one of the instructors, she did have breast cancer and she did survive, and she's been cancer-free for some years now. And so that's another reason why, you know, I decided to do this, and just to see, you know, what it goes to, right? You know, sometimes people say, oh, let's raise money for this cause and this cause and this, but to really see what it's for and what it can do. And even on I think the kickoff, yeah, Sarah, you had somebody speak about that. I didn't have really much education or knowledge about the different treatments. You know, I know that there's chemo, but I didn't know that there was like a pill that you could take instead of doing the other treatments, and how less invasive that was on the body. And that's all because of, you know, donations and because of research. And so many other things, like Nui mentioned, Hope Lodge, and you know, to just see what this campaign and what this organization can do is just amazing. So I'm very grateful and really honored to be a part of this. Thank you.
Thank you, Bryson.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, thank you, Bryson. Bryson, if you wanted to, go ahead and put your link to fundraise in the chat in case anyone would like to donate. I know that you're running that campaign as well. So if you want to put that in the chat, go ahead. But just wanted to thank Sarah and Bryson for sharing the importance of breast cancer prevention and for all of your continued efforts in the fight against cancer and hoping to one day find a cure. Mahalo also to Nui for sharing your story as a breast cancer survivor. We admire your strength and courage and are so grateful for the positive energy and light you bring to everything you're a part of. Thank you so much. We would now like to introduce Ian Hatch, who is the owner of AS Designs and Services, LLC, a marketing, graphic design, and web development firm serving the state of Hawaii for over 12 years. He has helped many new and established businesses find success in Hawaii and the US mainland. The Chamber can attest to that as Ian helped us transition from a printed newsletter to an electronic newsletter back in 2014. He has also provided us with a number of useful tips on digital marketing and social media throughout the years. In 2019, Ian opened The Temple, which is a high-end but casual, modern craft beer and wine bar located in downtown Hilo. Ian is a true entrepreneur and always has a community in mind in everything he does. Together with 3 other business owners in downtown Hilo, they created Hilotown Market, which Ian will share more about. Please join me in welcoming longtime Chamber friend and supporter, Ian Hatch.
Wow, thank you. First of all, I didn't know I was going to learn so much today, so thank you everybody for sharing. That was great. So the Temple, I opened in 2019, and we were open 8 months before COVID happened and we shut down. So we're still here, and I feel very lucky that we're still here. Taylor already kind of covered a lot of it. One thing that wasn't covered was our specialty craft cocktails, and made by amazing bartenders like Sarah and others of our staff here. Also, Jess Devendorf, our head chef, is absolutely amazing. We specialize more in pupu tapas, but we do have some larger ticket items. Jess does a lot of specials on the regular, and she also likes to source as much as possible, which is a lot, with the local farmers. She's a farmer herself, so she brings in a lot of good local products. We're very proud and happy to have Jess with us. I did also, as Taylor mentioned, just start the Hilotown Market. So I leased the building and the parking lot for 2 years, right across from Jackie Ray's and the Temple. We've had 3 successful markets every Friday from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock. We have artists, all local products, jewelers, some produce, food trucks. The birria guy is with us, and he has a line that's usually 20, 30 deep. It's very popular. But the market's been a great success so far. We're only 3 Fridays into it, so if you guys haven't checked that out, feel free to come this Friday, 5 to 8. It's on 690 Wainui Nui, right across from Will's Fish and Chips and kitty corner from Jackie Ray's in the Temple. And then I'm just going to go right into introducing our amazing bartender, Sarah. She's phenomenal, the drinks that she makes. I've been in the industry a long time, and she's the real deal for sure. One of the best I've seen.
I guess we're making cocktails now. I know we've been waiting for a while. So pop open your champagne if you haven't already. And it's a twist top. Most champagne bottles, if it has a page on the top, it's a 6 turn. And then you pop that open. This one's just a twist top, so it should come right up. And if Ian's around, he could do this for me. And it's been sitting for a minute, so when it's not cold, 1 sec.
I don't know how many of you can see the moon, but it's coming out of the ocean as an orange fireball. It's not white at all, it's orange.
The hunter moon, isn't it amazing? So huge.
Wow.
Yeah, I believe it's full tonight.
Yeah.
Pretty close to it.
Here. You want to do the other drink, and I'll go grab another bottle upstairs.
We're gonna switch to the martini instead. So if you have your sugar, if you have your sugar out, bring your glass. I used to be a pastry chef in Las Vegas for 5 years. So I brought in all my fun little sugars and garnishes, flowers and sprinkles and everything. And if you had the experience of me bartending for you, you'll see all the little magic I do. So if you have your sugar, it's in a little container. I bring my glass, and you can use a lime, lemon, or just plain water over the top. Garnish that a little bit. Then we're gonna do our kettle one. A little bit of ice. And then the 4-ounce mixer that you have. I'm gonna make 2 cocktails for me and Ian. If you have a shaker, if not, you can use a mason jar. And then, so the pineapple, the reason I'm using the pineapple is because it's gonna froth. Normally I use egg whites in this cocktail, and I didn't think you guys would want that in your little basket. So we have lychee puree, pineapple, and cranberry with your kettle one. You can also serve this one on the rocks. It's gonna taste just as good, but it's gonna create that beautiful froth for your martini. And then I supplied you guys with the little rose garnish. It's dried roses that you use for your teas. Brought that in. Just crumble it over the top, and then shake your little package for your little magic edible glitter. That's your first cocktail. Cheers.
Where can you buy that stuff?
There's a pastry outlet named Chef Rubber, and that's where I order it from.
So if we come in, can you make us one of those?
Yes. So normally what I tell people, we have great house cocktails.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I gotta
so
try it.
We have great house cocktails, but if you tell me your spirit, I can create for you as well. I went to 2 bartending schools in Las Vegas, and I worked at 25 different outlets in the Wynn, and each one of them had about 10 different cocktails, specialty cocktails on each outlet. So I had to learn all of those and then some. So tell me your spirit, and then we create.
I'm so happy that the temple opened because I lived in Miami for 10 years and I was like, man, I just really miss like the little cocktail lounges, and then bam, temple came and I'm like, it's the best place ever. So thank you guys so much.
Great to hear. Thank you.
Yeah,
Can I do a quick boomerang really quick? If you guys want to hold your cocktail or something, I'm just going to do a boomerang really quick. Okay, ready? Is everybody good? Okay, ready? Go. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions about the drink or the ingredients? How does it taste?
Really, really good.
Yeah, this is really nice. I'm wondering, is the glitter that was inside the bag, is that something specific or?
Yeah, so if you ever gotten a specialty cake, this is the same type of glitter that they put on specialty cakes and cookies and stuff like that. So these
Okay.
are actually
Nice. Cool. Neat. Thank you.
go into your kid's box, you can grab one of their glitters too.
Sarah, what was in the Cosmopolitan jar?
It was pineapple, lychee puree, and pineapple, lychee, cranberry.
Is there cherry in this as well? Cherry compote or?
Oh, no, we didn't put the cherry compote in that one.
Okay.
It's the cherry grenadine. The grenadine syrup, just for the color.
All right, if there's no more questions for our mixologist, I'm going to ask Sarah Lukenbell to announce or do our first giveaway for the evening.
Okay, so you were told to wear pink. If you wore pink, we were gonna do a fun game. So JD, it looks like you have pink in your shirt. It's kind of hard to tell, so I'm just gonna double check. Is that correct? Yeah, okay. And then the Suisan team over there, I think Napua was in pink. Is anybody else in pink back there? Oh, everybody is. Okay. So should I just put down Suisan and then you guys fight for their prize if you guys then you guys can draw, okay? Or something and do your own little wheel. So let me put that down. And let me get this up real quick so you guys can see that I'm actually doing it and share the screen. And we're just going to do the fun wheel. All right. Okay, so here we go. Yay, Bryson wins. Awesome. That wheel's always a blast. So Bryson, Taylor has your little gift over there.
Thank you.
It's a oh shucks, sorry, American Cancer Society pink pouch. So you can come pick up or I can deliver to you whenever you have time.
Sounds good.
All right, thank you, Sarah, for that first giveaway for the evening. So Sarah from the temple, I'm gonna bring you back to do our second mixology.
So the original cocktail that we have on our menu is called Tequila Dragon, but it's really hard to get that from Ola Brew right now because everybody's drinking it all. So we have their white pineapple and we're still gonna turn it pink for you guys. So we put hibiscus syrup inside of that and it's just as delicious. So it's the white pineapple cider and champagne. I'm also gonna put a little luster in there. So when you pour champagne for your mimosas, everyone's gonna do it differently. They'll put the orange juice first or your whatever type of juice you want to do. But I do the champagne first so it doesn't overflow. You'll see that. And then a little love.
So because they were out of the dragon fruit lychee cider, that is one of our signature cocktails. It is a lot more pink than this. But because they were out, we had to substitute. It's still good. It's a little sweeter and a little less pink, but still delicious.
the next time we do this, I think we should start with a shot each. We'll make little shots for all of us too.
These are the kinds of things that get me in trouble because I'm like, yeah, I'm totally into that. And then Ryan knows I cannot stop. I'm just like, oh, this is so fun. This is so yummy. I want to try everything. So
Don't make it, but I promise you it's always better when somebody else makes it.
yeah.
Makes it for you.
Hey, so since we have such a big bottle of champagne, what other things would you recommend mixing with the champagne?
What do you have in your fridge? So you can turn your fruits into purees. But if you do that, I recommend you'll take your puree or other liquors that you want to put in your mimosa, and I would put it in a tin or a cup, and then you pour your champagne into that. Use a strainer so that it won't overflow. If you put your puree straight in the cup and you pour the champagne, it's going to take forever for it to pour. So that's going to dissipate a little bit of the bubbles. That's going to just overflow all over the place. So mix it a little bit and then you pour it out.
So what do you have in your fridge?
I'm actually at the chamber office with Taylor, so Taylor will have to answer that. But at my home fridge, I do have Pog, and usually it's in the fridge.
That's my favorite, actually.
So I'll make sure to try that.
Yeah, the other one I like is just straight pineapple mimosa.
That would be good too.
And then on the weekends, we do half off mimosas and Bloody Marys at the temple. And if you come in during the day shift, I'll create all kinds of fun stuff. Lavender, hibiscus, lychee rose.
Yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
I like putting bitters in my champagne.
What's that?
Bitters? Yeah,
I like to put bitters, like cherry bitters.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, nice.
The traditional champagne cocktail is the sugar cube with the bitters over the top and then champagne.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good one.
I just skip the sugar cube. That way I don't call it a health drink.
Oh, really? Wow. I love a good brute anyway, so I'll probably just drink some of it straight myself.
Well, this one's a little bit sweeter than most too, so this one definitely lends itself to drinking by itself.
Yeah, I noticed that when I actually opened the bottle and took a taste, I thought, wow, for a brute, this is a little sweeter than what normally you would find. So
yeah, it's a really affordable, easy drinking kind of breakfast champagne.
yeah, an interesting note, I lived in Chile for 5 years, and down near Santiago, one of the wineries down there made a really good champagne, and it was incredible. And so I kind of miss it because I haven't had it in a long time. And when I went down there a couple years ago for the eclipse of the sun, I didn't actually get to get down there and buy a couple more bottles, but it was really, really outstanding.
Nice.
We should ask Ryan to see if he can bring it into Cadota's for you.
Yeah, that would be great. Oh my gosh, that would be really cool. I love that stuff. I'll have to I'll have to figure out what the name of it was now.
That'd be a good start.
Yeah, let me know what it was and we can go from there.
Okay, will do. I will look it up again and see if I can find it. That would be great.
My pleasure. Thanks, Ian.
Yeah, thank you. Good to see you. It's been a while.
Good to see you. Yeah.
And your
Thank you
partner.
for doing this.
What's that?
Thank you for doing this. It's been it's nice to be on the other side.
Yeah, I bet. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm sure it is for you.
Well, cheers to everybody.
Cheers.
Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate it.
Wow, really nice.
Do you guys have a preference on which drink you like better?
You say a martini?
Oh, yeah, martini.
Martini.
Yeah, I think I'll go with the champagne and pineapple. That I really love that.
My answer is it always depends on what mood I'm in.
Yeah,
And right now I'm feeling the champagne a little bit more.
I'll say the Cosmo.
Bryson, did you say the Cosmo?
Yeah.
I enjoyed that too. And, you know, I think I screwed up the mimosa because I was like, oh, let's make it pink, I'm telling Ryan. And I had this hibiscus syrup. So we added that to it and I made it sweeter. So I shouldn't have done that.
That's how you learn.
Live and learn. And, you know, I got to drink all my experiments anyway. So it all works out.
Yeah.
All right, I don't think there's any more questions, or is there?
I want to know how many people have glitter all over.
It's on my hand,
The entire
on my desk.
Everyone.
It's pretty.
And the fun part is I love putting the gold glitter in the drinks. Yeah. That's it all over their lips too.
I'm like, how come I'm glittering so much?
All right. Well, thank you, Sarah and Ian, for that second drink. That was great. And then I'm going to call back Sarah from American Cancer to do the second giveaway for the night.
Thank you. This is perfect timing because, you know, after a few drinks, it's always fun to have a quiz. So we want to check and see if you folks got some great information from what I shared earlier. Knowledge is power, right? So we're just going to do this quick quiz. It will be super fun. I want you to just go into the chat and I'm going to just try to open it up what I can see here to see. So we do have a prize for whoever gets the most correct answers. And I'm just going to open it up so I can see the chat here. And Taylor and Lynn, maybe if you can kind of help me with that too. So are you guys ready to enter into the chat? Ready? Great. Okay. So which activity helps to prevent cancer? Eating healthy, regular exercise, getting screened, or all of the above? All right, that's great. Yep, everybody, it is D, right? So cancer prevention. If you eat healthy, get regular exercise, and make sure you get screening on time, it does help prevent cancer. Next question. 1 in 7 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer. True or false? All right, everybody was listening. It's 1 in 8. Very good. Okay, women should start annual mammograms at age 45. True or false? Okay. See, that was a tricky one. So it is true. That's when you should start your annual mammograms, and the ages before you should get it at least once between age 40 and 45. So very good. And then of course, if you have a risk, then you want to make sure you talk to your doctor and get screened earlier. All right. True or false? Men can get breast cancer too. Very good. It is true. So 2,600 men are expected to get diagnosed with breast cancer this year. And the #1 diagnosed cancer in Hawaii is breast cancer. True or false? Okay, and that one is true. So #1 in the world and #1 in Hawaii as well. And if you have a close relative that has had breast cancer, you should talk to your doctor about the risk, true or false. All right, that is true. Nui shared, right, the importance of she was younger, but if you know, and her whole family from there got tested. So very important if you have a close relative to make sure you talk to the doctor. And when you donate to the American Cancer Society, you help to support our 24/7 helpline, free places to stay like our Hope Lodge, cancer research, or all of the above. And yep, that is correct. Answer is D, all of the above. All right, thanks so much for playing. Let's see. I don't know if we need time to tabulate that up.
Okay, so thank you guys for paying really good attention. Most of you guys got all of the answers correct, but we were kind of judging it on who got it in first and the most correct. So congratulations, Ryan and Anne. We have a notebook for you. So we'll get that to you folks later.
Those are fast fingers.
Job.
Very good, very good. Thank you.
I used to teach hiking.
Thank you so much, everyone, for playing. And then also thank you to Sarah, Bryson, and Nui for joining us, and then Ian and Sarah for sharing how to make pink drinks at the temple. That concludes the mixology portion, but we are going to actually go into Zoom breakout rooms. We did finish the program a little bit earlier, so we can have a little bit more time for networking. I'm going to go ahead and put something in the chat. And then if you guys are able to just click that link and make sure somebody has it open on their computer. So yeah, go ahead and click that. And then I'm going to just pull up my screen here. And okay, so are you guys all familiar with breakout rooms or not too much? Okay, I think most of you are familiar, but I'll just go over instructions.
Taylor, can I interrupt real fast? I unfortunately have to go, but I just want to thank you all for making this happen.
Thank you so much, Ian. This was so awesome.
Thank you, Ian.
You guys take care.
Thank you, Ian.
Yeah, thanks so much. That was great.
Okay, so did you guys have a chance to open up the document, the Google Docs? Okay, it looks like some of you are on there. So we hope you will use the Google Docs as a guide to lead your networking and discussion in your breakout rooms. And then we'll be doing 2 rounds of networking, and you'll have about 10 to 15 minutes for each round. And we will notify you when time is almost up. I think it'll let you know when there's about a minute left in the breakout room. So, and then we do have moderators pre-assigned, so they'll kind of kickstart the conversation. But really, we just want you to go into the breakout rooms and then have a good time, have fun, make new friends, and then also learn about each other outside of just what they do for work. So before we go in, is there any questions for the breakout rooms? Everybody's good. Okay, so I'm gonna split you folks up, and then just make sure you folks click join, because if not, I think you'll just stay in the main room. So let me go ahead and put you guys into the rooms. Okay, so we're gonna go into the rooms now, and then just be sure to click join. And then we'll see you folks in about 10 to 15 minutes. Have fun. Oh wait, hold on. Okay.